Okay, I'm not sure if it was an hour, but about that I think. So I have it all scraped, and I even brushed it down with the whisk broom. And always wear a mask when you're doing this. I took it off now, but I'm done brushing, done scraping. So came off really good. Now there are parts you don't get. You basically have a couple goals to keep in mind. One, you want to get all the loose stuff off you can. Now I'm not saying you sit there and scrape and scrape and scrape. Now probably this would have come off. But I probably will go over this one more time before I paint it. And we'll talk about what I'm going to do next. But the other goal is you don't want to damage the siding. You know, here I hit it a little bit and put a little edge in there. But for the most part, I didn't damage it. And we're going to do some caulking on the holes, the nail holes. So maybe I shouldn't go on to this topic, but why would I not just cover up the siding, go over it with some new siding? Well, there's a couple of reasons. First of all, to me, this is the best right here. You can go out and try to reproduce this or rebuy this, but it's going to be very costly. And this is probably native lumber, native trees in the United States. I mean, think about it. This house has been here 125 years about. These trees probably grew a good 100 to 150 years. So that means these trees were probably started 250 years ago to 350 years ago. And they started growing. And then they were growing in a big forest. So there was lots of leaves and they had to compete. Heavy competition. So they didn't grow a lot each year. They weren't fast growing compared to what the same species could now. So this is tight lumber. And notice you don't see a lot of knots. Now there are some blemishes here and there, but minor, just very minor. So that's another reason I like to go back to the original siding, because most likely it's the best. It's the best you can get. Now another thing, so unless you're got lots of money, of course, I'll leave that out. But still, are you going to find native lumber? No, you're not going to do that. Okay, so areas that don't scrape as much. First of all, we see some history here. We see an original color, most likely, which is very ironic because the color we're going back to is pretty close to this. So I find that ironic. We see some yellows in here. I think there was two yellows. You got this kind of a brighter one, and then you got this more earth tone yellow. So there's at least 3 layers right there. I don't know. Maybe this is a layer 2. So that would be 4 colors, which means it went from the darker one probably to this one, because you see some of the lighter on top there. This might have been an area where the dark had had been off or scraped off, and then when they painted, that stuck best. Okay, so anyways, these are areas of shade, so that paint sticks better. It doesn't take the beating of the sun like over here. This gets full sun a good chunk of the day on a day that's not cloud cover, which today is cloud cover. We also have some original color up here, kind of a deep brown. So we see some history. So what's next? I'm going to re-nail all the siding. This is a chance to re-nail it. Does it need to be re-nailed? Probably not. It feels pretty solid, but this is an opportunity to put in a nail in each spot where it was nailed. So why not do it? Why not take the opportunity and really tighten it down? Because let's face it, I hope that this lasts for a long, long time. So we're going to go get our 2.5 inch siding nails. They're galvanized, and we're going to start re-nailing. Probably before I do that is I'm going to try to do a bunch of cleanup and try to clean the area up. Oh, and then I forgot about this. this storm window. I decided I need to pull it off for now, and then I can scrape that whole window and prep that window, and then maybe I can get this thing back. There's a few videos on that, on how I refurbish, or how we did it. Amy helps too, and we end up painting white from here over to there. We leave this natural, because if you start painting this, it's going to get in there and then it doesn't slide, so you're going to it's going to be a mess. Now we do clean the screen and actually paint the screens nice black. They look really sharp when we're done. So there's videos on that. I haven't done one in a couple years, so you're gonna have to look back a ways if you want to look at them. And maybe we'll do one when I do this, maybe before and after. Okay, so let's get this thing pulled off. Got some Phillips here. I might have to go get a smaller Phillips to get them off. And then we'll put that inside, and then we can prep this window and now I don't use glaze. You'll see videos on that too. I'm just going to re-caulk it, and that's my glazing. And there's a story behind that. I did it years and years and years ago, and then when we ended up purchasing the house 30 years later, my caulking is the one that still is holding, so it works. Does it hold forever? No, it doesn't hold forever, but it definitely does work, and it's fast. I can do it fast. Okay, beautiful siding, and we're going to refurbish it and give it some extra nailing right now.